if you logged on this weekend, you probably noticed something big. I got a new banner. Yes, that was one thing. And no, for real. And you also probably noticed the trending topic, hashtag, where are the children? Right? Most of you were probably like, I wonder what this is about. And one of you was probably thinking, oh shit, the jig is up. But actually, the hashtag was about this.
The Washington Post reports the U.S. lost track of nearly 1,500 immigrant children in the last 3 months of last year. The children crossed the border with Mexico on their own and were taken into custody. They were placed with adult sponsors in the U.S. Last month, the Department of Health and Human Services officials said the agency had lost track of them.
The Department of Health and Human Services lost 1,500 immigrant children. How do you lose 1,500 children? If you want to find them, just let R. Kelly sniff a piece of their clothes. He'll find them. Yeah, come on, Pied Piper, use your powers for good. Now, if you were only reading the headlines and the tweets, you'd be thinking right now that the Trump administration had captured and then lost 1,500 kids. And because of that, people online lost their shit. They were like, this is an outrage. How could Donald Trump lose our precious immigrant babies? I'm so angry I could scream. Because that's how these things start, right? Someone reads a headline, then they start a hashtag. People retweet the hashtag without doing their own research, and that creates a snowball of outrage. But the truth is, Trump hasn't lost track of any kids.
There may be a reason that these 1,500 children can't be found right now. They may not want to be found.
The Department of Health and Human Services says that the children are not missing. Rather, they are unaccounted for because their sponsors have refused to respond to follow-up calls. Now, sources in the shelters for the children tell CNN some sponsors could be undocumented as well and don't want to interact with U.S. immigration officers.
Yeah, you see, it turns out these immigrant kids aren't lost by Trump. They just don't want any contact with anyone in the Trump administration, sort of like Melania. Now, at the same time as this was happening, another misinformed immigration scandal blew up online. Someone tweeted these photos of the U.S. government holding undocumented children in cages. And again, without doing research, people online lost their shit. The president has caged our precious children. He's milking them like cows. What has become of our republic? Impeach! But once again, this group of people didn't get its facts straight. Because you see, those kids, unfortunately, yes, they were sleeping in cages. But this picture was from 2014, when the president was slightly less tan, right? And what was weird for me was that when people thought it was Trump, they were like, what kind of monster would put children in cages? And then they found out it happened under Obama, and all of a sudden they were like, look, I mean, sometimes kids gotta be caged, you know? And cages are complicated things. I mean, there's good cages, you know, Luke Cage, Nicolas Cage, the bird cage. The point is, I've deleted my tweets, but still impeach! And look, I understand that people do genuinely care about this issue, but sometimes it pays to slow down. Let's take a breath. Let's read past headlines before we start sharing misleading stories that Trump will use to discredit all other news. He's gonna do it. He did it with this story. So, just so we're on the same page, Trump didn't lose 1,500 kids, and his administration didn't put those kids in cages, all right? But don't worry, you can still hate him. Because he and his administration have started doing something that is way worse.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced tough new immigration policies that will go into effect soon that will separate parents and children caught illegally crossing the border.
If you are smuggling a child, then we will prosecute you. And that child may be separated from you as required by law.
How can someone so cute be so evil? Because although Trump will still skin over here smiling while he's saying this, you have to admit this is a heartless way to deter people from coming into the U.S. illegally. There are less cruel ways to discourage people from coming into the U.S. Instead of taking their kids away, why not just force everyone crossing illegally to look at this picture of Ted Cruz at the Rockets game? Why not do that? Yeah, which, by the way, I don't blame James Harden for missing all those shots. Yeah. Imagine trying to play with that face in the crowd. You tell me you would make a shot. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Harden made a shot, saw Ted Cruz smile, and then was like, oh, I'm never doing that again. Yeah.